Happy 2025, everyone. And today we're going to be discussing a portion of the Jon Benet Ramsey ransom note, if in fact that's really what it was. I want to make it abundantly clear before I start this video that I'm very leery about doing this simply because I know Jon Ramsey has sued numerous people who've accused family members, and I want to make it abundantly clear before I start this. I am not directly accusing anyone, and if you choose to directly accuse anybody in the comments section, that's on you. I'm not responsible for other people's opinions. I'm merely a journalist making observations and telling you what I notice, okay? And that's all this is. So first of all, let's just get started. I'm not going to make this a real long video, but this is a very, very important video because this is a topic I've wanted to discuss for a long time. Let's take a look, first of all, if we can, at the first page of the ransom note. And I'm not going to go over the whole ransom note in its entirety, but in general, some of you have seen this, some of you haven't. You know, Mr. Ramsey, listen carefully. We are a group of individuals that represent a small foreign faction, et cetera, et cetera. And then they proceed to tell him, you need to withdraw $118,000 from your account, and that there will be a call between 8 and 10 a.m. tomorrow. The delivery will be exhausting, all kinds of excessive details that you wouldn't normally see in a ransom note. Ransom notes are rarely, if ever, this long, and the FBI has confirmed that. And then obviously we have a writing sample that's from Jon Benet's mother, who is now deceased, Patsy Ramsey. And you see here's cursive, and then she switches into regular handwriting because, of course, the regular handwriting was what was present in the ransom note itself originally. Okay, so we have ransom notes, her handwriting sample. And there's a couple of things that, to me, when I look at this, are humongous red flags, okay? And again, I'm not accusing anybody. The FBI has said that their handwriting analysts have not been able to conclusively match any of this, but there's some things that really disturb me. First of all, let's take a look here. And if you notice in the original ransom note, this seems to me there's a lot of jitteriness going on. It seems like whoever wrote it, I think the person who wrote it may have been nervous. There's lots of like squiggly lines and things like that. It just seems like that it's really, really hurried. And there's more evidence to support that when I look and compare the letter I, lowercase letter i's, in the ransom note and in Patsy's sample. If you notice, in numerous situations when she writes the lowercase I, it looks very similar to what I see on a lot of the I's in the ransom note, in that the dot that goes above the I and even a couple of the J's seems to be above and off to the right a little bit, almost like the dot is being hurried excessively. And you see this consistently throughout the handwriting sample and through the ransom note, to where that dot above the I is a little bit off to the right consistently. Not all the time, obviously, because there's a lot of different I's, but there's so many of them that it stands out to me like a sore thumb. Again, this is not an accusation. This is an observation. But the one that disturbs me even more, okay, is this. And I put them side by side. If you look at this THE, the lowercase, and compare it to this one in the ransom note, again, I'm not accusing, but that is such a unique T with the hook on the bottom, and the way the H is curved and the way the E goes up. They're almost identical when I look at them. That is a very, very unique THE. Okay. And I'm sorry to hammer this home, but I'm not accusing Patsy Ramsey. These may be coincidences, but you have to remember, if somebody's coming in and abducting someone, okay, if somebody's coming into a house and abducting someone and then killing them, number one, what would be the point of writing a massive, massive ransom note that's that long? you'd want to get in there, commit the crime, and then leave, and there would be no reason to leave a ransom note. So I have trouble wrapping my head around that. Not to mention, the note was left on the stairs where the Ramseys come down from their bedroom, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if this was an intruder who wrote a ransom note, we know that the note itself, okay, was from paper that was inside of the house. They've determined that. So whoever wrote the note took the paper from inside the house and wrote it. And there's only a couple of ways that this could have went down if it was an intruder. Would an intruder come in, kidnap her, kill her downstairs, then take time to go back upstairs after writing a note that long and set it there and then leave after the fact? That doesn't make sense. Okay, so the other scenario is you pre-write a massive ransom note. I mean, do you leave it on the stairs first, kidnap her, and then kill her while the ransom note is sitting there? That kind of doesn't make sense to me either. Again, I'm not accusing anybody, but these are massive red flags. And the fact that investigators have come out and said that they've cleared the family members, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, that bothers me. Okay, I'm not accusing anyone. But the fact that they've come out and publicly said that definitively, it bothers me. And furthermore, a lot of people will say, well, you know, there's DNA they found in her underwear, et cetera, et cetera. It is my understanding that that is kind of a touch DNA. And one would think that they would have developed some sort of a profile that they could have used some sort of genealogy or backtracking with if that was a valid DNA sample that was actually linked to the case. I'm not going to pretend to know what happened here. I obviously have thoughts, I have theories, and we're going to discuss more of those in coming videos. But at the same time, I just wanted everybody to kind of take a look at these things because, again, we'll just call them red flags. Because to me, some of these things are just, they make the hair on the back of my neck stand up, because if they're coincidences, there's some pretty big coincidences. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. I hope maybe you learned something from this and it prompts you to take an active interest in this case. Again, this is Unsolved, and the goal of all of these videos is simply to try and generate leads or tips that might help solve these cases. Thanks for watching, everybody, and in the future we'll do a live stream and we'll discuss this topic more because I think it's discussion worthy. And again, I want to remind everybody, be careful in the comments not to directly accuse people. That's not what my channel's about. If you have some sort of evidence that directly does implicate somebody in any of my videos, call the police, please. Thanks. Happy 2025, everybody.